Well, Ken, it was, I suppose in a way, it was a red that Ronnie was left, and it was a type of red that most people would cut in and play with left-hand side just to check it, but he decided to play it with the other side and try and develop the pink. He didn't come on the pink. If you just watch it, a lot of people would have just played the thin cut and tried to avoid a cannon on anything.
Yeah, as you said, he tried to develop the pink here, and he certainly brought the pink into open play, but it was just this next shot, which was the blue. He did pot a blue similar to this in a previous frame, but an excellent blue into the green pocket, got on the red, and have a look at this. Just look how sweet he just hit this. Didn't have to do anything with the cue ball, but just concentrate on potting the object ball, and cued it wonderfully and went on to make a wonderful 85 break. So Judd Trump breaks off. Last frame before the mid-session interval.
And a decent break it is, but there's a red sticking out here, and it is available for Ronnie into the left corner. Just caught it a fraction too thick, and of course when you catch it too thick you don't get back to the balk end as you would like, so there's a possibility of a red here. I think he's covered the one to the left corner, but this one to the right corner's on. Tried to stun it down for position on the black, but just caught the red, and he's knocked the red over the corner, so he's going to have to go for the colour here. And being so close to the side cushion, boy, this is tough.
One of the hardest shots in the game, this, John, no doubt. A lot of pressure on this as well. Well, I'm not quite sure why he played it at that pace. Certainly difficult enough just dropping it in, but why play it at that pace? Red already over the corner pocket. It just makes it even more difficult pot. Ronnie would certainly love to get the black on the spot, but as you can see, it doesn't go in past the green, and certainly doesn't go in past the brown.
One.
Tried to force an angle. I think he's just about got a slight angle on the blue, but not one that he can career into the other reds. First chance he gets, though, he'd like to do that, because if he can get a nice angle on the blue, cannon into the pink, not only will he open the reds, more than likely bring the pink into play. So what sort of an angle have we got on the blue this time? Still can't get quite there, but he's always got the advantage, of course, with this red over the corner pocket.
This would be an interesting shot, John. What would you do? Into the pack with the red, or would you just try and get on a colour and try and develop the reds?
I'd try and get on a colour. I wouldn't risk the cannon into the cluster, because you could finish up on nothing. And this time he's got the good angle on the blue. He's played that absolutely inch perfect. Now the cannon in the pink. Well, that was amazing. He hit that, to me, absolutely perfect. And that pink never moved.
18.
It must be stuck there with super glue.
Well, he has an angle on the blue as well, again, to try and bring that pink and some more reds into play, if he wishes.
$23. 24.
You're certainly having to work hard for this break. Well, he may be on this red at the bottom of the pack, but certainly didn't play it like that and just got into the cue ball too much. But that will certainly tell us that the pink does pot. So green, red into the green pocket, pink will go into the left centre.
Yeah, if the pink does go into the left centre, then obviously this makes this red a little bit easier.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 29.
So close, but not there. He worked hard, and it was always going to be hard with the black out of commission. It was the poor shot on the blue. Good pot from Judd, but he was desperate to try and get that cue ball away from the cushion, and he didn't really manage it as he would have liked. Well, looking at the pot success, 78%, it's not good enough at this level. Got to be, well, for me, 90% and above. Even Ronnie's just below that.
6.
Judd just having a look. Is two reds a plant just below the pink? Well, it looks like it. If it was a plant, maybe Ronnie should have noticed it.
This is a possibility. Just try and get on the pink or a nice angle.
7.
And that looks just about perfect. Now, if they weren't the plant, you could certainly develop them here and knock that red towards the corner pocket after potting this pink. But and there's a little bit of doubt. Players, if they have the opportunity, would rather bring the reds into play than play the plant. And he certainly has a lovely angle on the pink here to do so.
Well, the plant looks a certainty to me, but oh, he's not nestled on the red, is he? He's not nestled on the red and finished on nothing. That would be unlucky. Now he's having a look
30.
at the situation, so I assume he can just get through to this red, but it's only just. Just about got an angle on the blue, and I'm just wondering now whether that plant is still there.
Well, he's having a look at another plant here, and that one certainly looks on as well. Looks to be dead set, and the only possibility is if they're touching, then it may go offline. But if those two balls aren't touching, that is, this plant is dead set, and when potting this, he will certainly bring some more reds into play.
19.
Yeah, you see they're not touching, so perfect.
20.
Could have played the positional shot better though. You'll have to go in between the yellow and the brown. It's all about line and length here. He's got a decent line. I presume the outside red of the Ford does go to the right corner.
25.
Just not got tight control of that cue ball, and it's found him out again here. It's the wrong side of the blue. Sometimes you can flick them on a good day and it helps you, but not on this occasion. And he's straight enough on this blue, and I know he's got tremendous cue power. He's even contemplating playing the yellow to try and get the cue ball back to this end of the table. If he plays the blue, boy, he's going to have to hit this with some pace. Oh, this is
what a shot.
Sensational.
What a shot that was. And as you said, John, he had to hit it with some pace, but how well did he cue that?
31.
In fact, he's just overran it slightly, and that was just an amazing piece of cueing there.
And this time he has found a good angle as we see that blue again. Played it with lots of left-hand side to swing it round off the two cushions. Couldn't have played it better. Playing the cannon, and he's broken them open. Lovely. Frame at his mercy now.
37.
Yes, and what a lovely shot. Didn't play it with too much pace. Knew the red was coming away from the pink and into a potable position. Very well controlled indeed.
38.
Just coming around just to make sure that top red or bottom red goes into this corner pocket. Well, the bottom one doesn't, but the top one does, so. Well, has he gone enough? That is surprising. I'm not quite sure whether he didn't come down off the cushion or even go into the reds there, John, but...
Can he get enough of this red to pot it?
Sometimes you can just flick a little bit too much side on this type of shots. Not too bad. Well played, but you won't be happy with where the red has gone.
Yes, and after this pink, or well, maybe not the pink if he's too straight, he wanted to be on a ball where he could get close to that red. Still needs a red and a colour. So he couldn't get close to the last red, and this is difficult. I know he's a tremendous potter.
50.
But this will take some handling, because not only does he need this red, he needs either pink or blue to leave Ronnie needing a snooker.
Yes, and how many players in the game would actually leave himself a shot at this almost straight red down the cushion? He's going to have to hit it spot on. Hold on to your hats. This is a Judd Trump special. Oh, great shot. What a shot. Unbelievable.
51.
Yeah, it was strange. It was only when you mentioned it that I even considered that he wouldn't play the pot. He played the brown, which means that he's 27 points in front now with 27 remaining, but
55.
Nicely on the yellow, which would leave Ronnie needing a snooker. But of course, one snooker's not the be-all and end-all of it, so I'd like to pot the green, and that
57.
would mean that Ronnie wouldn't come back to the table. And that, I'm sure, underlines the fact now that Judd's going to go into the interval all square.
64.
This is amazing stuff. Well, got off to a slow start, but it's certainly hotted up now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about the blue. Ronnie will have had enough of that, so it's building up nicely, and they both go to the mid-session interval. I'm certain a lot happier about their form, and they're all square, 2-all.